What is up, everyone? What's up? I'm back. I'm back from vacation. Look, there was no BRAP this week. Give me just a second here real quick. There was no BRAP this week because, well, there wasn't a Wednesday show because I was out on vacation. So I just got back yesterday and I said, you know what the hell, it's Friday. I knew there was going to be some news. I think I said the last show, or maybe I said this to Mooch, expect some news Tuesday, Wednesday, and sure enough, we get news that God of War Ragnarok is in fact coming 2022. It's going to be releasing November the 9th. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I want to do a quick BRAP rep. I am going to be on Crossfire tonight, but look, I like I said, I was on vacation, just got back, had a great vacation. I am tanned, relaxed, and ready to talk some video games. So I am super excited to be back on. And please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're new to the show, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. And thank you, Truth Serum says my Wednesday wasn't the same without BRAP. Some BRAP. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's watching us live right now. Again, please retweet the link. I dropped the link in the live chat. So let's go ahead and get into the show. We do have some news. PlayStation 5. Look, PlayStation 5, I really believe this. They are set to dominate this year. And I think it's safe to say in terms of releases, games, they have dominated 2022. I think the PlayStation 5 is the second best PlayStation launch in the history of PlayStation consoles. Second only to the PlayStation 2. And we know how well that console did. Games sell consoles. Compelling games sell consoles. Look, despite maybe Jim Ryan, I have been critical of Jim Ryan. I think Jim Ryan is not the mouthpiece that should be speaking all things Sony, PlayStation. They need someone else. They need a Sean Layden. They need someone else who is not a bean counter. This guy was a CFO. He's a bean counter. He should not be. But anyhow, outside of what Jim Ryan has said publicly, look, he said this a long time ago. He's going to let the games do the talking, and they're doing that. Sony's doing that, and the PlayStation is just in terms of content, exclusive content. They have dropped. They're the only. Look, and I know people are going to bring up Flight Simulator, which is not a video game. Again, it's a simulation. It's a PC simulator that was ported to console, which is a great feat by itself, by the way. Props to Microsoft for porting that PC sim over to Xbox. That's quite a feat. But I'm talking about current generation games. PlayStation's the only current gen platform that's delivering current gen games only. And yes, I understand they do have some cross-generation games in the mix, but they have released current gen only games as well. So, and even their cross-gen stuff. I mean, I just wrapped up Horizon Forbidden West, and I wouldn't have thought that this was not. I would have even thought this wasn't a PlayStation 5 game, that it was on PS4. So whatever wizardry that Guerrilla's doing over there, I mean, talk about epic experiences. That's what Sony's offering from a first-party perspective right now, and then also a great mix of second, third-party content with some of their partners. There's also some third-party or second-party exclusive content that's going to be coming to that console as well. But Knights of the Old Republic remake, they're going to have Wolverine exclusive. I mean, so they just got a lot going on. There's a lot in the development pipeline, if you will, for them. So we'll talk about that, and then Xbox first-party games. There's a $70 game now that's an Xbox Game Studios game. We'll talk about that. And then Xbox gaining in Japan. Shout out to them, by the way, in Japan. They've really made some huge inroads in terms of console sales. But let's talk about Xbox and gaming in Japan. I don't know if you all follow Benji Sales. And by the way, as I mentioned, I am going to be on Crossfire tonight, and that's on Mooch's channel. So that podcast starts at 7 o'clock. So I'll be there. Make sure you head over to Mooch's channel at 7 o'clock. I'll probably wrap up. This podcast is probably about an hour, so I won't keep this too long. I may have to step away to refill my pint of beer, if you will, my pint. Give me a sec here, guys. All right, so we'll talk about that. So we'll talk about Xbox gaming in Japan. So if you're not following Benji sales, by the way, crazy news today. World news has been crazy. Former Prime Minister of Japan was assassinated today. That's crazy. Boris Johnson, I was calling him Boris Yeltsin, former president of Russia. Boris Johnson is resigning. Monkeypox is spreading. Yeah. The end of days. Just wild times. I'm just thinking about the wild times here. All right. So if you guys aren't following, if you aren't following following Benji sales on Twitter, I highly recommend it. It is, he's just a great guy overall. I've had him on BRAP, and he does post industry numbers, tweets out industry numbers. And he put out a tweet yesterday. Xbox Series X and S have now surpassed the 250,000 sold milestone since launch in Japan. Lifetime total now at 260,504 units. So, from comparison, Xbox One, the previous Xbox console, sold 114,000 consoles its entire lifetime in Japan. Now, I'm not going to speculate as to why this is happening. I've seen other people just throw out some fucking crazy ideas. Oh, it's because, Sony just ditched the Japanese. They don't care about the Japanese anymore. Look, Nintendo rules the Japanese market. The Japanese market is primarily a mobile handheld market. I mean, it's just not really consoles. Consoles aren't the dominant platform there. So what's happening in Japan with Xboxes? I think it's great. I mean, Microsoft is drastically improving within the first the going on to year 2 this fall, and I forget when it launched in Japan, but it's going into it's sold over 260,000. Now, I would be interesting. I think most of the breakdown would be favoring the Series S consoles, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've read. What's up, Toolman55? But again, I'm not going to speculate as to why this is happening. I've heard some wild speculation again that people are saying, oh, it's because Sony doesn't care about the Japanese market anymore. I'm like, what? Sony has sold 1.7 or 1.8 PlayStation 5s in Japan. They still are, selling quite a bit more than the Xbox Series consoles. So I'm not so sure where people are getting these crazy ass ideas. It's unfortunate, but people just throw weird shit out there and, throw shit on the wall and hope it sticks, basically. So I'm not going to do that here, though. I try to respect my listeners, the good people that are listening to the show right now. I try to respect your time and your brain cells. But no, that's actually really, like I said, really cool that the Microsoft's doing that. Obviously, look, I think the leadership, the Xbox leadership, has done a lot to get more Japanese titles onto the Xbox platform, and I think they've done a really good job at that. Kind of, making a more well-rounded portfolio of offering of a variety of type of games. Dragon Quest XI was huge to get on Game Pass. Although I don't think much people played that, at least this is anecdotally speaking. I didn't see anyone on my list playing it, my friends' list, and I didn't really see much chatter about it on the Twitters. But they are getting Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 on Game Pass, and those are huge gets. Persona 5 is a phenomenal game. Persona 4 is Golden. It's great, too, by the way. But yeah, 260,000 units sold in Japan for the Xbox Series consoles to date. That's impressive. Again, 114,000 lifetime for the Xbox One. So definitely, an improvement there. But again, Japan, the Japanese market is dominated by Nintendo. That market is primarily a mobile handheld gaming market. The console is not the dominant platform there anymore. So just something to note when discussing the Japanese market. But I do want to talk about Psychonauts because I'm sorry, hold on just a sec here. Un momento, mommy, slow up your tempo. Hold on just a sec here. All right, I had to pull this article up real quick. All right, so Xbox Game Studios has its quote-unquote first $70 title. Is actually Psychonauts. It's the physical copy of Psychonauts. But this is the mother, I think it's the, let me sec here. I think it's the Mother Lobe edition is what it's called, if I'm not mistaken. It comes with, it's almost like a collector's edition. Now, this was announced back in 2021, last year. You get like, I got to pull this up here, but you get like some stickers and shit. I think a reversible cover. Give me a sec here. Psychonauts. Yes, Mother Lobe edition. Here we go. Mother Lobe edition. It's so this was back in September 27, 2021. Publisher Skybound Games, developer Double Fine. Now, Skybound Games has a lot of customized like collectors, statues, editions type things for games. So that's coming out. And this is going to launch on, I'm sorry, it wasn't announced September 27th. It's going to launch on September 27th. The physical edition of a game, of this game, has a reversible box art, a set of six two-sided art cards. We'll find an concept art collection of 6 premium die-cut stickers and code for a digital download on release behind-the-scenes material. So that's it. It's kind of a collector's edition. Now, I've been kind of poking fun at this, saying, oh, I guess $10 isn't a big deal. It's a $70 game. And people are like, oh, wait a minute, it's a collector's edition. What are you talking about? It's not $70. Well, it's in the spirit of $70 and the fact that it is it's a $70 game. I understand it's a collector's edition. But that brings me to my point about, because Sony's been getting a lot of slack for this. People, oh, Sony's greedy. They're charging $70. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Now, Lord Butcher was saying that Target also has a game for $70. Now, let me look at this real quick. Now, the thing is, though, I do think that this is the, give me a sec here. Now, the Target advertisement says Psychonauts 2 Xbox One Series X, but I gotta believe, I believe this is still the Mother Lobe edition, though. I don't think this is just a regular edition, because the Mother Lobe edition is priced at $70. So I don't see, I don't see that. But yeah, it's more or less a collector's edition, if you will. But again, it goes back to my point, and the people who were so up in arms about Sony charging $70. Oh my God, it's $70. I'm sorry. Couldn't contain myself there. Look, the point is, and look, I'm not, as a consumer, I never want to pay more for stuff. Nobody does. None of us here listening or in the live chat want to pay more for stuff. But like any other consumer product, I mean, think about this. 13 years had gone by. 13 years had gone by with no increase in the price of video games. Think about that for a second. And actually, hold on a second. Maybe longer than that. Give me just a second. I want to. All right. So, okay. So 2000 and. By the way, $60 video games are not new. You can go back to the 1990s. They were $60 video games. I want to say 2000. Was it 2005? Hold on a sec here. All right, so let's say 2006. Thank you. So 2005 series, the Xbox 360 launches. Not all the games were $60 on that console. It's very much like this generation, where not all games are $70, and then eventually all games are $60 back then. So you're looking at 2006. You're looking at 14 years without an increase in the price of AAA games. But in that 14-year period, I'm sorry, I said 15. In that 14-year period, you have to think about this. Inflation, the cost of goods, services has gone up. The cost of salaries have gone up. The cost to do business had gone up. The cost of making video games had gone up. But the cost of retail games did not go up. So everything else went up in terms of salaries. People never think about the human capital piece of this because it's a very important cog when you're and I know this from a TA perspective because this is what I do for a living. It's an important cog in terms of budgeting and your P&L and all that other stuff. Like that's not something that's fixed per se. It's something that increases, right? Like, for example, my firm that I work for, we just got a $7,000 a year pay increase back in April because of the adjustment for inflation. Because the labor market, in order for us to be competitive, really, what happened was the labor market was so tight, high demand for labor, for skilled labor, and that happens, the price of that skilled labor goes up. Meaning you're going to have to pay those people more money, and then you have to protect your internal equity. So in order to do that, to keep yourself competitive in the job market, you have to raise what your internal employees are making. So, and these are very skilled positions, by the way, in the video game industry, like very high sought out technical positions that aren't really easy to find. These people aren't easy to find. Trust me, I've recruited for them in the past. And software developers, high demand, QA, project managers. I mean, people with agile, waterfall experience. I mean, it's a specific skill set. These folks don't grow on trees, and they can pretty much demand what they want most of the times. Many times, I should say. So 14 years had gone by. Everything else that goes into making a video game had gone up. The price of labor, the cost of labor, production cost, development, tools, everything had gone up. Everything had gone up. And no one talks about this, by the way. And I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off. Oh, my God, you're defending corporations, BRAP. What's wrong with you? Why are you defending these corporations? They're just greedy. Yeah, fucking right, they're greedy. We get that. Look, as consumers, we understand this one thing. They want our money. Like, let's not pretend that none of us know what's going on. Like, of course they're greedy. These are for-profit companies. We get that. So let's put that to the side for a second. I don't think and I never thought that it was unreasonable to charge an additional $10 when the price of labor, the cost of services, the cost of production, everything had gone up over the last 14 years. And if you look at any other consumer product, gaming, the cost of game software was the only thing that really was static per se. Look at the cost of other goods. The cost of a car 14 years ago. The cost of houses 14 years ago. The cost of milk 14 years ago. The cost of gas 14 years ago. The labor 14 years ago, human capital, it was cheaper to hire people 14 years ago. So I don't think that for AAA games that a $70 price tag is unreasonable. And what's happened is it became a talking point essentially to kind of knock down another company. Now, if you don't want to pay full price for content, look, I get it. I'm not going to begrudge anyone. Wait for it to go on sale. I think many of us practice that mindset, of wait for a sale. We all do it with different consumer products that maybe we don't see value in day one. Yeah, Lord Metroid's right. You were absolutely right, Lord Metro. You don't have to pay $70 because you don't have to. And that's the thing, too. People, you don't have to pay $70 for a game. Wait for it to go on sale. We do this with other consumer products. I don't understand why we treat gaming differently like that. But consumer mentality gets thrown out the window. It fucking drives me crazy. It drives me nuts. Like everyone takes off their consumer hat and just goes full on fucking stupid when it comes to video games for some reason. And I don't understand. I don't get it. I will never understand that. We practice this type of behavior in other consumer products and other consumer goods. For some reason, gaming, we forget about it. Oh my God, $70. Well, you don't have to buy it. Wait for it to go on sale. And understand that in gaming, there's tiers. We have tiers. And these things are tangible. It's the part that kills me. Because we have tiers in other products, right? Like you could see the difference between a $70 AAA game versus a $25 game. That's a tangible thing that you can see. All right? So, and it's always been like that. So these things are, for me, $10, never a big deal. Now, to Sony's credit, they are offering tangible differences between their $70 and $60 cross-gen first-party titles. You may be saying, well, BRAP, what do you mean by that? Well, outside of the, obviously the obvious, right? The better graphics and all that other shiny shit. The 3D audio, the haptic feedback controller, those are tangible things. Those are things that you can't get on the PlayStation 4. And what Sony is saying is for the additional $10, that this is what you get. You get these additional feature sets. This isn't any different than other consumer products, right? Like when you go out and you buy a car. Oh, you want the leather seats? You want four-wheel drive? That's going to cost you extra. You want those 22-inch rims? That's going to be extra. Tangible differences priced at different tiers for consumers who want different things. No different in video games. Same thing. I just went through this. I just bought a new car. I just got a Denali, Yukon Denali. And I paid extra to get, the 22-inch rims, the four-wheel drive, all that. I paid extra for that. So I never thought, and again, if $70 isn't your, and look, nobody wants to pay more. I'm not advocating for companies to charge consumers more, but this is the reality of the relationship between consumers and thank you, Scorpion, between consumers and companies and goods, right? Yeah, gas is killing me, AC. It cost me about $120 to fill up my tank, man. It's fucking killing me. I'm putting in premium right now because I have a 6.2 liter 6.2 liter V8 engine, and I don't have it. I don't have to put premium. It says premium recommended. I'll probably, because I went on a trip. Also I went to a trip, so So I use premium, but I'll probably go like mid-grade just to, go somewhere in the middle per se. But because gas is fucking expensive. But again, you don't have to buy these games. Wait for them to go on sale. They do often go on sale. Yeah, AC Premium is better for the 6.2. That's what I've read too for that particular engine. I've read the same thing. Yeah, in terms of performance. Hey, Ice Cream Game, what's going on? Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your husband's brother who sent you a nasty message. Yeah, go tell him to F off. Good for you. You look at like something like Netflix, right? If you want, you bought that nice OLED 4K TV. You already watched some Stranger Things season 4, which is really good, by the way. You want that? You want to watch it in that 4K Dolby Vision Atmos, right? You want to watch that, right? Netflix. Netflix is giving you 4K for free. You got to pay extra for the 4K service. So you're not getting the Netflix isn't going to, hey, you sign up for Netflix, you get bare bones Netflix. You're getting TCL Netflix. You're not getting OLED Netflix. You got to pay extra for that 4K streaming service. So Boss says also different model car, not different model PlayStation. Oh, actually, Boss, is it in fact a different model PlayStation? And if you don't understand the difference between the differences in PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, Boss, I don't know what to tell you, sir. But they are tangible differences. I just listed them for you. I listed the tangible differences on the PlayStation 4 versions of cross-generational first-party games versus their PlayStation 5 games. Like that Yukon Denali that has four-wheel drive versus the one that has two-wheel drive. In that analogy, the PlayStation 4 is the two-wheel drive Yukon Denali. The PlayStation 5 is the four-wheel drive Yukon Denali. If you don't understand that, then you're just, I don't know what to tell you. I'm dumbing this down as best I can. Because they are tangible differences. Like I said, 3D audio, haptic feedback, better performance resolution. It's the same thing if you go with the V6 versus the V8. I don't know. Boss, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I don't know. God help mankind, by the way. People can't, I don't know. I try to be nice. But the buffoonery and the fact that people like say shit like this, like what Boss just said, just drives me nuts. It just really does. Mr. 10, his 6-year-old understands this more. Wow. That's good. Your 6-year-old nephew's a smart guy. Or kid, I should say. And I would fully expect Microsoft to charge $70 for their first party games. And I'll tell you why. Why not? If the market is supporting, and the market is, we know this just looking at NPD numbers, you look at Sony's first party games and EA and Activision's games selling at $70, and they're selling very well at $70. The market will ultimately dictate. This is the part that few people forget. Like, they're like, oh, these companies are trying to screw us over. Well, at the end of the day, the market will dictate whether or not they're going to accept EA charging $70 or Activision charging $70 for a video game. The market will dictate whether or not they're going to accept that. And it looks like they have. And Microsoft's not going to leave extra money on the table. They have shareholders to report to. Imagine at the shareholder meeting, Satya Nadella says, you know what? Our competitors are selling $70 first-party AAA games, but we're not going to do that. The board's going to look over at Satya and say, excuse me, Satya, did you just say you're leaving money on the table? And shareholders want their money. Shareholders want their money, so they're not going to leave the additional $10 on the table when the market has said, when the markets will sustain that. Also, it's in Microsoft's best interest in terms of even further building that value proposition of $70 or Game Pass. So think about that. Yes, the price of gaming went up, additional $10, but we got this thing called Game Pass. And for $2.50, or, basically two $70 games, you can get all these games. It's great. It's amazing. That's more of a compelling value proposition for them to get people to get into their service. I'm telling you, remember this date, September 8th, 2022, BRAP said more $70 games coming from Microsoft first-party studios. All right. By the way, I'm not picking up the Psychonauts Collector's Edition. All right. Give me a sec here. I'm reading the Twitters right now. Yeah, so so that's look, I mean, again, I don't think it's unreasonable, the price increase. I just don't. I mean, considering some of the factors that I laid out earlier, I just don't. But all right, let's get to God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok. So if you guys have been listening to BRAP, I think it was Gaming Forte was kind of bit on the fence, I think he lost a bet. By the way, Elon Musk is terminating his $44 billion Twitter deal. Chief Executive Officer Elon Musk said on Friday he was terminating his $44 billion deal for Twitter, citing material breach of multiple provisions of the agreement. Interesting. All right. So PlayStation 5, or I should say God of War Ragnarok is getting a release date. Forte lost the bet. We had a bet. I don't think he thought that. There you are, Forte. Gaming Forte. I love you, Forte. Says, I stood by my prediction to the end. I'm proud of that, BRAP. You did. Forte, I will say this. You did stick by your guns. Unfortunately, you did. But look, B Money tried telling you, man. If you haven't been listening to BRAP, B Money's brought this up a few times on BRAP that in fact that the launch date was going to be in November. And boy. I hope that hold on. I don't think that was a good one. Hold on. Boy. All right. It's probably my best boy. Autobots, roll out. All right. Forte. Hey, Forte, what's going on over at GameStop, man? What's going on at GameStop, dude? That's why I asked you if you're okay, by the way. Boy. All right, so God of War, November 9th, 2022. B-Money on a couple BRAPs has mentioned that this game was coming this year. Like he's like, look, it's coming this year. Look, it's coming this year. Then it was like then B was like, it's coming November. And here it is. Lo and behold, November 9th, 2022. And the pre-orders for the special edition God of War Ragnarok is going live on July 15th, which is next Friday. So I will be getting that, by the way. Forte, is GameStop, will you be doing also take pre-orders for the special edition God of War Ragnarok for God of War Ragnarok? Is that something that GameStop's doing? Do you know? Forte, you deserve more money, sir. You're the best at what you do. All right, so we get. Oh yes, we will. Day one, I hear. So Forte, so do the pre-orders for the special edition God of War Ragnarok? Do they go live the 15th for GameStop as well? Or is that just through Sony only? I didn't read the presser for Sony, but they did actually reveal the what the special edition is going to look like. So November 9th, 2022 is the release date, the street date for God of War Ragnarok. It is in fact coming. Yes, I'm excited. My most anticipated game of 2022 outside of Starfield. Look, I'm bummed that Starfield didn't make it, but it kind of works out because now I get to spend more time with God of War Ragnarok. And I will be playing Starfield on PC, by the way, because it's going to be the best version of the game will be on PC. So I mean, look, this is exciting news, but I gotta say though, do you guys remember? So look, I'm super excited. I know Forte's hyped. He bought a PlayStation 5 for this game. I bought a PlayStation 5, not just for this game, but for other games. But this is one of the games that I got a PlayStation 5 for. And I'm just super excited for God of War Ragnarok. And, I just think it's going to be an epic game. I think it's, the last one was just awesome. I mean, what they did with that game was just, wow. Chef's kiss. I mean, it was one of the best games I played last generation. And I don't expect anything less. But I got to say, some of the commentary, and so do you guys remember Froskurin? She's the G4 host who said that Microsoft was going to smoke Sony in 2022. I think she was smoking crack when she said that, because here we are in 2022. Microsoft's not going to have a first-party release in 2022. So, I don't know. I got to be honest with you. And I wasn't planning on talking about her, but yes, Lothric. Yes, that person, that one. I got to be like, how did she get a job in this business? Because that is a terrible fucking take. Horrific. And then she gets called out. On it. And it's like, well, and I'm paraphrasing what she said, but she did say more or less that it was a joke. She was joking. No, you weren't joking. You weren't joking. And I'm sorry. Last I heard, G4 was not Comedy Central. And if it is, that's news to me. But Adam Sessler didn't seem too amused. He was kind of like, okay, yeah, have fun with that. But she said this, and it's like, Jesus, like how are you working? I'd actually never heard of her. Oh boy, and here we are with the good old Rodimus. Xbox is outselling PS5 in 2022. Yeah, and okay, like what does that? I mean, like that doesn't take away the fact that they still have nothing, Rodimus, with in terms of games. Like this is okay. So this is the crazy part about the diehard Xbox or Xbots. You know, big shout out to Optimus Code. He used to refer to it as bot brain. I mean I don't know what I don't know what Xbox outselling PS5 does for me personally as a gamer or somebody who owns an Xbox. Great for Microsoft that they've been able to get Xboxes on store shelves, and unfortunately Sony, and that Sony needs to figure that out. Sony has a issue with stocking PlayStation 5s. They have a production issue with the PlayStation 5. We're all aware of that. So Sony needs to figure that out. But and Forte will tell you as soon as he gets PlayStation 5s in the door at GameStop, they're gone. The Xboxes tend to last a couple days, and I'm seeing Xboxes at my local Walmart stocked regularly. When they do get PlayStation 5s, they're gone that day, like within like an hour. Oh, Rodimus. Here's the thing. That's not Rodimus. Have you not been paying attention to what NPD, DFC Intelligence has been saying? These are industry analysts, Rodimus. You should probably pay attention to these folks. They've been saying that it's not about this. Okay, Matt Piscatella came out and said that this is, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but this is what he said. That it's that right now that they've never seen a console market like this. And a lot of this is a result of pent-up demand because of, the pandemic. And basically what's happening, Rodimus, is, and Matt Piscatella said this, whoever can get, and this is the first time they've seen this, whoever can get their consoles on store shelves is going to sell the most. That's it. That's why Microsoft's been outselling PlayStation or Xbox. That's why Microsoft's been outselling PlayStation, because PlayStation can't they cannot get PS5s on store shelves. That's the data. That is what NPD, the people that track this stuff, that's what they're saying, Rodimus. I'm not sure what data points you're using to come to the conclusion that it's holding mindshare. And the point of the conversation is the lack of exclusives for 2022. I could give a rat's ass. Ultimately, I don't care about console sales. I care about content. And this is the part that, I don't understand about. And I own 2 Xbox Series X consoles. All right? I've owned every Xbox console. I've been on the Xbox ecosystem for 20 plus years. I was an Xbox Live beta tester. The part about the Xbox, and I call this the new Xbox community, the part that just doesn't make sense to me is when guys like Rodimus, look, Rodimus is a great dude, good guy. I'm just picking on him right now because he's saying some crazy stuff. But the part that's really trivial to me is that instead of saying, "Hey, wait a minute, Phil, where are fucking games? Why have you mismanaged the production pipeline?" It's, oh, well, you know what? Xbox is outselling PlayStation 2022. Huh? What is that? What? Take that same energy.
Hello.
What's up, Forte? I guess are you at work 14? Yes, I'm still live.
Am.
So
You still alive?
Yeah, I'm still live. So
you
what I'm saying,
you gotta leave Rodimus alone.
What's
Stop
that?
picking on him. You gotta stop picking on the Rodimus.
Look, I'm just look. I think Rodimus a great dude, but hold on, wait, let me finish. So my point is, take that same energy and have a discussion about the content, right? Because that's what it's ultimately about.
I was about to call you slow mo. BRAP. Let's have a real conversation about this right here. All right, is Xbox not outselling PlayStation 20 for 2022?
Yeah, we know why it is.
Yeah. No. Screw that.
But that's not. Wait, hold on, wait. But that's not the. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead,
that's not the conversation though. The problem is that
conversation.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. First of all, I was talking about what's her face from G4, and I was talking about God of War Ragnarok, right?
Yep.
And then you got the bots come in and they're like, oh well, it's like, but wait a minute, like that's, and we know why it's outselling. Like that's been discussed.
No, screw BRAP. We can't be saying that because if I remember correctly, during last year before these systems came out, when I was up there on my high horse and I was saying PlayStation is going to get outsold by Xbox for 2021 because they were going to have because PlayStation at the time was not rumored that they announced that they weren't going to have as many systems. They downgraded their forecast from 16 million to 11 million.
Here's the thing.
Hold on.
No. We're not. First of all, no.
Let me finish.
No, wait. No. We're not going to do this because one, I'm on a time constraint. I got 10 minutes left.
All I need is two. All I need is one. All I need is one, and I'm done.
Right.
Like I said, all we know is they said that they were on a restraint because they didn't have as many systems. They said they downgraded their forecast from 16 to 11. But this is what everybody told me. Hold on. This is what everybody said. Everybody was like, even if y'all trying to say if PlayStation if PlayStation got resliding screens, that means Xbox is going to have it too. They're made of the same thing. They both have the same CPU inside both systems. So
well, the Series S has been.
But no. This is what everybody said, though. Everybody was like, "Well, we don't care because
Forte, I'm not Forte. But I'm not talking about everyone else. I'm talking about, and I'm addressing what Aronimus brought up. And what I'm saying is, we know why it's outselling. Matt, NPD, the NPD analyst, Matt Piscatella, DFC Intelligence, another analyst firm that tracks video games, they've all said the same thing.
But people said that wouldn't happen no matter what. They said,
okay, that's fine. But Forte, okay, that's all nice, but who cares, dude? Like that's not even
people do care.
That's not even part of the conversation.
People do care. Listen, people care because people try to say even if it did. People literally went in the streets and said if PlayStation, even with the stock restraints for PlayStation, they can still outsell.
But that's not the okay. They people said that and.
Okay, but you can't argue the fact. But see, that's the difference. You can say, yeah, PlayStation is losing the Xbox this year due to supply restraint. And I
said that.
There is no reason to try to argue around it. It's no reason.
But I said that. I said yeah, it's outselling because PlayStation, and I cited DFC Intelligence. I cited NPD. Like
all you had to do was say, "Yep, Raj, you're right. They are winning."
No. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is what happens. All right.
Go ahead.
When you start talking about like Sony first party content, games and stuff, the bots come in. Like my big shout out to Code. The bot brain kicks in, and it's like, oh, well, and it's like, oh, well, they're out. That's a separate. That's a wholly different conversation.
They're all tied together, though.
They're not tied together.
They are because
they're not. God of War coming out this year has nothing to do with PlayStation or Xbox outselling PlayStation 5. Wait.
Selling well in 2022 is not a great thing.
We're not even talking about that.
It would be where it is, but nobody thought Xbox would be where they are compared to PlayStation due to the supply restraints.
Look, no one expected supply constraints, but again,
yes, we did. We all did.
I mean, I look, Forte. I didn't look again. I'm not in manufacturing, so I didn't assume there was going to be supply constraints. I thought there might be some challenges, but not like this to the point where Sony was having significant challenges. And I didn't know. Matt Piscatello said this, like, we've never seen a market like this. He basically said, whoever can get their product on store shelves and keep it on store shelves is going to win NPD every month. And that's what's happening.
And BRAP, and what did I say? Being a person that doesn't work for NPD, being a person that works in the store, and what did I tell you literally before these systems came out? Whoever has the most systems is going to win. But
again, this has nothing to do with my conversation about Froskuren, where the people call her Machine Gun Kelly, and her commentary on what's it called?
She's an idiot.
But this is my point. Like so the bots come in, right, and they do this stuff, and that's so that's what I was addressing. So they're
gonna celebrate every. I mean, they gotta celebrate. Bro, they gotta celebrate every once in a while, bro.
I mean, celebrate. They're
celebrating sales. I don't care about sales.
Celebrate the fact that if you have an Xbox, you enjoy it. That's good enough. But like coming in here and celebrate, like honestly, like for me, like that's not even a win. Like no games. This whole 2022.
I mean, if you can listen, as much as I don't agree with the fact that they ain't had no real first party titles, they won't have a real first party title this year.
They haven't had a.
Like crazy.
Yeah, so that's my but that's all the whole thing about which console's selling the most. That's another conversation though. But look,
people try to undersell it and say, "Well, it's just because of supply restraint." We knew this. This is the thing. That's not double vision on this situation.
That's not underselling. Look, that's not underselling though. The fact that not everyone knew Forte. Not everyone knew that.
Dude, this is something that people with a brain knew that there was going to be supply restraints. Did they know it was going to be this bad? But we already knew it was going to be bad. The fact that Sony lowered their forecast by 5 million systems the first year it came out let you know that they couldn't get as many out into the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But look, what did they do again the next year? They lowered it again.
But bringing up the fact that Xbox is outselling PlayStation.
But people said they wouldn't even be able to.
Okay, but wait. But you said people are kind of like underselling, like you can't under.
They are.
But here's the thing: when and I don't know if you're saying like, if you bring up the fact that the reason why the Xbox console, and it's a Series S, by the way, that's the one that's
well,
really,
they're both selling. I mean, if you look at the Japan market, outselling the S.
But no, it's the Series S is outselling the X. For the numbers that I saw.
The last couple of weeks the X.
Okay. So here's the thing. So again, when you bring up that when you bring up the fact that and you talk about what NPD has said and you say the reason why Xbox is outselling PlayStation and even Nintendo so much is because they're able to keep more console on shelves. And it's more about just people just want to get their hands on a console, period. Doesn't matter if it's Xbox or PlayStation, right? So when you bring that point up, that's not underselling. That's just bringing up a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's been documented. Like, NPD comes out and says, based on our data, and based on what we're seeing in market trends, this is what this is. This is what this means. So when you say that, that's not underselling. That's just bringing up. That's just saying, hey, yes, that's true. It is, and this is why this phenomenon is happening. That's not underselling. It's just the reality of the world that we live in, the reality of the market.
Well, you're right about that. It is the reality of the market, but I still think.
By the way, Paw Patrol is awesome at 120 FPS. I was playing it with my kids on Game Pass. Definitely recommend it.
I
definitely recommend it. I was a little suspect on the Forte, but I was having it,
Look, I'm just saying, sometimes give it a little break. Don't I mean I understand when people start talking about sales and everybody wants to jump down the throat, say, well, the only reason it's happening is because Sony has supply restraints. I just automatically defer to like if a person
but that's why Forte, but that's why it's happening. Wait. But that's why it's happening.
It doesn't matter why it's happening, but people said it wouldn't even happen even if that was the case.
That's fine. But again, saying the fact that it's because of supply constraint, that's not taking anything away from Microsoft.
No, it is kind of because
it's not. That's a fact.
No, because everybody said that if Sony has supply restraints, Xbox is going to have. The difference is Xbox is having a Xbox is having as hard of a time getting systems in the market as Sony.
The fact of the matter is when those two consoles are stocked on shelves, we know based on data which one outsells the other one.
Okay,
right?
It still doesn't change the fact that due to the fact that goes back that we already knew what would happen depending on who had stock.
And
I wasn't one of those people that told people that. I told people whoever has what I said, if Sony has stock, they're going to sell. If PlayStation has stock, they're going to sell.
Yes, you did say Forte. You did say that, Forte. Now,
Nintendo's going to win.
But the point is this: the point of the matter is that that's why it's outselling. And it's been documented. Any of the big three, whoever gets, inventory on store shelves is going to outsell. That's why this is happening. That's not a knock against Microsoft. That's just a commentary based on market trends in the console market right now, based on data from NPD. That's not trying to undermine what. Look, Microsoft. Yeah, it's great. Microsoft's capitalizing, and they're winning off of, Sony not being able to get, enough consoles on, on store shelves. That's a Sony problem, absolutely. But again, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that bringing up that fact and bringing up things that Matt has said. From NPD about this phenomenon that's happening. I don't think bringing that up is trying to take anything away from Microsoft. It's just stating what's actually happening in real world. That's my point. Before you derail my show, man. But I love you though. I think we lost Forte. He's at work. Again, Erodimus, inventory, and I think people are putting a little bit too much into the series consoles outselling. Again, I mean, like this is a phenomenon that was described by NPD analysts, and and so look again, it's just a state of the world or the market that we live in right now. Whoever can get the most consoles on the store shelves is going to sell through them. Cypher Poetic Initiative says, I thought we wanted with the $2 super chat. Thank you, says, I thought we wanted competition. Yes, we want competition. And we're not saying we don't want Xbox to sell. What we're saying is the phenomenon that's happening that we're seeing is a result of companies which company can get the most consoles on store shelves. And that's been well documented based on data that NPD is seeing. And trends that NPD is seeing. That's what we're commenting on. Forte, can I get back to Foreskin or whatever her name is?
You sure can, sir. I just wanted to come in and set the record somewhat semi-straight.
No, there's no record setting here. I speak.
Okay. I got your back around him. He ain't gonna bully you.
Huh?
I got you, Brownimus. He ain't gonna bully you.
Nah, he's not bullying me. He just talking out of his rear end. Look, so now I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I gotta get going now. Now I can't finish my show. Thanks, Forte. No, I'm joking, man. It's always great having you on, man. It led to a great conversation But no, real quick, Frost Kieran, whatever her name is. So she tweeted out, I feel like God of War on a November release date is because they want to hit the holiday quarter, and maybe not because that's a reasonable launch date. Hope there's no crunch and everything is going according to plan. Not sure where she got that idea from, or how she arrived to that conclusion. But Corey Barlog actually replied to her, said, I feel like we thought a lot about what date is best and chose the best date for the team, the game, and the fans. So yeah, she's an interesting character. Or individual. I call her a character. Maybe she's front against. I don't know. Anyhow, so that's kind of my. I just thought that was kind of an interesting take by her. A weird take, like how are you arriving to that conclusion, Frost Skirin, whatever your name is. I don't know. Maybe you're assuming because other companies push releases to please year end, things like that. I don't know, but like I said, the God of War 2020. God of War is coming out. That's huge, and so in 2022, Sony has had some GT7. Arrives with the $5. It says, thanks, Forte. You were the realist. Great debate. Perhaps stop the name calling. Hey, man, look, the bot brain thing is kind of a term of endearment that Code came up with. But no, if that's offensive, I apologize. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to name call. But no, always, Rodimus. And I said this earlier. You are one of the great ones. Good dude. Appreciate you, man. I'll always enjoy our spirited debates back and forth. You and Forte, man. You guys are always have great spirited debates with you too. But no, Ron, I appreciate the super chat, sir. I appreciate you as well, man. I really do. So thank you. Yeah, Ken, here's the thing, though. Like, I hear what you're saying. Perhaps you have to give Microsoft some credit. Even back in the days when Microsoft had stocks, Xbox still wasn't selling. Game Pass makes Xbox brand very attractive right now. I would say in normal circumstances, Ken, I would agree with that. But these are not normal. This isn't a normal market. Like, if you followed and listened to what Matt from MPD has been saying, DFC Intelligence, these industry analysts that follow the market trends and sales. They have access to data points that we don't have. Basically, it's really, whoever can get product on store shelves is going to sell. So it's not that Microsoft, it's not necessarily Game Pass, because Game Pass was around last console generation. So I don't think it's Game Pass that's driving it. I think that it's what Matt Piscatella and the good folks at MPD are saying. It's, hey, whoever can get inventory on store shelves is going to outsell the competition. And because people just want a new console. They want the shiny new toy. And there's been, coming out of COVID, the pandemic now, there's this pent up demand. We're seeing this with other consumer products. There's this pent up demand, which is why we're seeing inflation, by the way. This pent up demand for goods and services that people didn't have access to. And so people are just gobbling things up and fear that they might not be around, and two, if they don't get it now, it could go up in price later on. So that's the phenomena that's happening right now. I don't think it's anything necessarily that Microsoft's doing. And that's not to say that Microsoft hasn't made some good thing or done some good things with acquisitions. Although, again, I have issues with their production pipeline. I've said that on numerous occasions here on BRAP, but I do want to go back to the person from G4 TV. I just thought her take was interesting here about God of War. It was nice to see Corey Barlog respond, but I got to say, looking at the pipeline of content, you look at Forspoken's been pushed back to early next year. Yeah, their Square Enix's tweet about the delay there was kind of interesting, because I said in speaking with our partners, that's Sony, who decided to push the game back. So, Yeah, I mean, Ryan's right. Like the Switch is even still hard to find sometimes. Like my local Walmart, you still can't find a Nintendo Switch. They're not, and this is a 2017 platform. But no, look, this has been a really, and I celebrate this because I celebrate this year in gaming, especially on the PlayStation side for me, because I own all the platforms, and I've just been impressed with Sony's output of exclusive content, right? GT7, Horizon Forbidden West, God, what else? God of War this year. I'm sure I'm missing some others. They're doing The Last of Us remake, not a remaster, a remake. Last of Us Part 2, actually. Is it Last of Us Part 2? No, Last of Us Part 1 remake. I'm sorry. Part 2 is new. Remake of Last of Us Part 1. That's coming out September. So they've got a lot of stuff coming out. And, and then the pipeline, Forspoken, Wolverine. We don't know what Wolverine is yet. I mean, we know the character Wolverine. We don't know the game. But given the pedigree of Insomniac, what they did with Spider-Man, I think it's fair to be excited for that. Final Fantasy VII, that the Part 2. Knights of the Old Republic. They have like five. They have five multiplayer games in development. They just acquired Bungie, although Bungie or Sifu came out this year. Thank you, Sifu. MLB, which was released across all platforms. Thank you, Tactical Gamer, for Sifu. I forgot about that. Sifu was a game that was reviewed very well and seemed like many people enjoy that game. I haven't played it. So their output of content has just been, and then PlayStation VR 2 maybe next year, rumored. Their output of content has just been very impressive. Look, I was on the console side of things. Sony's pulled me over. I was last generation. I was primarily on Xbox, and then I think towards the middle point of last generation, it's when Sony started getting that cycle of dropping exclusive content. I switched over. It just it's hard for me. It's hard for me. Yeah, Valkyrie Asylum. It's hard for me to not go there. I mean, it's become my console platform of choice. Although I still primarily mostly play on PC. And as soon as by the way, Jim Ryan, bring those Sony PlayStation first party games day and date on PC, I'd be much obliged if you did so. But look. Yeah, so look, it's been a great year, I think, for the if you own a PlayStation console and you enjoy some of the content that's been there, exclusive content. It's just been a great 2022, and the one thing I always remember, and if you've listened to the show, B Money talks about Sony's content a lot. That like, look, they got a lot of stuff in the burner right now. And that it's not going to stop. Like they really want to let, and he said this, we're going to let the games do the talking. And again, this is the best, historically speaking, this is the best PlayStation, second best PlayStation launch of the PlayStation 2. Go back and look at the first 2 years of PlayStation 2. Compare and contrast that to this PlayStation 5. It's solid. It's solid. And for me, that excites me as a gamer. I'm super excited. Now, I know people are going to be like, well, what do you think about Xbox, BRAP? Look, I'm excited for Starfield, but I don't know. I want to see those acquisitions start paying off soon. I'm excited to see Avowed, what Avowed is. Although I've heard that that game's been rebooted. Some development issues there with that game. But I'm excited. See what they have. Excited for Hellblade 2. So, but anyhow, I'm hyped for God of War 2022 to coming out this year, 2022, November 9th. I can't wait. Just looking forward to continuing that epic journey with Kratos and his son, boy. So, look, I went over. Forte jumped in. I wasn't expecting him to jump in, but appreciate Forte as always. Spirited debate. Love Forte. And appreciate each and every one of you in the live chat. So thank you, everyone. I do need to wrap up, though, because I've got Crossfire coming up here in about 45 minutes. Oh, yeah, Forza Motorsport. Yeah, I mean, that was an exclusive, but and that was actually in Forza Motorsport. Forza Motorsport, actually. I'm sorry. Forza Horizon is great, but Forza Motorsport, yeah, it's coming out. We don't know. They have a release date for that. But I'm not a Forza fan. I'm not a racer fan. That's not my genre. I tell you what, though, I'm really hoping, and I know we're not going to get a lot of content anytime soon for Halo Infinite, but I'm still playing Halo Infinite multiplayer. I really enjoy it. I think it's a great multiplayer. There's still some issues in that game, though, with content and the economy and stuff like that, and unlocks. It's some of the armor upgrades or unlocks you get are just yeah, not great. But God, when you're in that game, the gun mechanics, gameplay is just great in Halo Infinite multiplayer. It's a shame that game's fallen off the cliff. It doesn't have very high engagement, at least on PC. I think it's like 7,000 active users on PC. I don't know what it is on Xbox, but I think it's fallen out the top 10 most played games on Xbox, which is crazy. If you would have told me that 20 years ago when Halo first came out, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, if you would have told me that was the case, I would have laughed in your face. I would never thought that the Halo franchise would have fallen off the cliff the way it's had. But look, I mean, we've seen other games come back. I don't know if 343i could do it. Joseph Staten's got a lot of work ahead of him, and he just brought back a former Bungie employee, somebody that worked with him launching Halo 1, 2, 3, and ODST and Reach. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in 343i, but fingers crossed. But anyhow, look, I'm going to be on Crossfire in 45 minutes, so head over to Mooch's channel. And thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me today for this impromptu BRAP rant. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hit that like button and subscribe so you get notified when we go live. And we'll be live this coming Wednesday, next Wednesday, I should say, at that is July 13th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for our regular scheduled BRAP. I may do a BRAP rant this weekend as well. So follow me on Twitter at BRAP_podcast. Link. Leah, let me give you a link to Mooch's channel here. Hold on a sec here. Probably should have done that, huh? All right, here. Let me drop this link. Mr. Din, here's the link. Head over to Mooch's channel. There you go, sir. Erodimus says there's no BRAP without Xbox. No, you know what? I'm not gonna. I might do a BRAP rant, Erodimus, about PlayStation's inability to get enough PlayStation 5s out, because that's a problem. That's a problem. They need to do that. They need to figure that out. I don't know how they can figure that out, but they got to figure that out. But anyhow, no, Erodimus, thank you, man. Appreciate you, and appreciate each and every one of you in the live chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Head over to Mooch's channel at 45 minutes. We're going live there. It's gonna be a great show. Let's see what guest. I think he has Slow-Mo Backslap on. Who else does he have on? Let me see here real quick. I'll give you the guest list. Let's see. Who does Mooch have on Crossfire? He's got all right, he's got Crusader's going to be on there. Who else has he got here? Slow-Mo, Saltiest Gaming Forte. He's got Jez. So it looks like Jez, Slow-Mo, Crusader, and Saltiest Gaming are the guests this evening on Crossfire. So it's going to be a stacked panel. So it should be fun. So come out and hang out with us. So on that note, I'm out. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of you again. Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. On that note, I'm out. Peace.